Helping Seniors Television, all about improving quality of life for seniors. If you're a senior, know a senior, or plan to be a senior, then this show is for you. It's all about helping you develop your own aging plan so you can age actively and with dignity. Helping Seniors Television from the Helping Seniors Network of information, education, and resources.
Welcome to today's edition of Helping Seniors Television. This is the program that is designed to inform, educate, and connect you to resources that are going to help you develop your own aging plan. So Helping Seniors is a Florida nonprofit established by a gentleman named Joe Steckler. Joe today is 90 going on 91, and he is our president emeritus and founder, but he has always talked about the wisdom of putting together an aging plan. We euphemistically call it getting your ducks in a row, because as a charity, 100% local to Brevard County, we answer the call. We have the Senior Information Helpline, which is a free call for seniors and their families and those who love and care for them. And we get calls about everything: housing, legal, medical, transportation, you name it, we get to call. And part of what we've learned along the way is the farther ahead of these things that you can get, if you have a plan, you're better off. We understand a hurricane plan in Florida. Doesn't mean you want a storm. It just means you want to be prepared. This is one of these topics today that's going to help you be prepared, because my father had an expression. He said, if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. You know, you could have all the money, you could have all whatever else you want in life, but if you don't have your health, you're not there. You're not really there. And so most of us are always striving to keep our health at the best that it's possible to be. That's why this program is going to be so instrumental in this conversation today. I'm so excited to introduce, again, a longtime friend of Helping Seniors. His name is Dr. Kevin Kilday. Welcome to the show, Dr. Kevin.
Well, thank you, Dr. Kerry. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you know, I was saying that I had met you. We have done a lot of ministry work together over the years, but when we first connected on the Helping Seniors side, you have so much experience in holistic health. And I want to come back and I want to talk a little bit. I don't want to get people ahead of the curve, because I don't want to assume people know what holistic health is. But I just want to give kind of like a preamble about your own credentials, because they're very impressive. When I first met you on that level, you operate a thing called the Holistic Health Center, and you were helping people with protocols in several different areas. You have worked with people who are treating cancer on a homeopathic, holistic kind of way. You've worked with people who are trying to recover from addiction, and that's kind of been your specialty and your career for all those years. In fact, you continue in that line, working with some well-renowned addiction recovery programs here in Brevard County. But also, you have a lot of experience in helping people manage pain naturally, so they're not getting hooked onto pain pills or finding a way to deal with their pain naturally. And you did that for all those years with Holistic Health Center. And then you kind of graduated up, because for 15 years, you'd been building on this concept called the Faith College of Natural Health. And just recently, literally, you have just now moved everything to online. So you're able to open this up to people not only here in Brevard County, but literally globally, because they call it the worldwide internet. So Dr. Kevin, I'm excited that that's what we're going to talk about today, but I want to kind of rewind for a minute, and maybe can I start with the beginning? And what is holistic health? I mean, there's a whole level of confusion we bandy terms about, and maybe we're not even saying the right thing or knowing what we're saying.
Well, yes, well, holistic health is the right term. Holistic health is just inclusive of rebuilding or restoring health through the mind, the body, and the spirit. You really have, I believe, in my opinion, and what I've been trained at and what I try to educate people on is that those three areas are most important. Not only do you need your physical health, but people today are very much more aware of mental health. For instance, there seems to be a big awareness now, of some mental health problems that everyday people are experiencing and starting to address now. Like depression and anxiety, and of course the veterans with PTSD and bipolar disorder. So there's a lot going on there, and and thank God that it's being very much made aware of now. And the not only the medical industry, but even the natural health industry is addressing it. And of course, spiritually, as I'm a Christian, a believer, and so I do believe that faith is very important in a person's overall overall recovery, or just overall everyday living. Even in the field that I'm presently in, which is the recovery field and helping people with the substance abuse. There are organizations out there that yes, they all get together and they all meet and they all fellowship with each other. But in a lot of cases, they fail to add the spiritual component to it. And like I said, they are addressing the mental health component. A lot more people now are very much aware of of physical health and exercising more and eating right, while even being in recovery. And of course also the spiritual side of it helps a great deal, just recovering really from any disease. It doesn't have to be substance abuse. It could be really anything. We just had a wonderful show here about Alzheimer's. I'm sure the spiritual component of it is also helpful in recovery of Alzheimer's.
Yeah, as you're talking about this, one of the thoughts that comes to mind is I think a lot of times, and I remember this in our own family, one of our mothers had gone into a doctor and was making a complaint about something that wasn't feeling right. And I remember the doctor looking at her and saying, "You just want me to write another prescription." And what the doctor was, and this is a standard regular medical doctor, said, "Don't you want to look at some things that might be able to influence this without you having to add another prescription?" Because her prescription list was already quite long. And I remember thinking about that a lot of times maybe the prescriptions are often a Band-Aid and they don't really get at the underlying challenges that's causing you to need that prescription. I'm smiling a lot of times when I see on the TV broadcast there'll be a commercial for some pill that was designed to do one thing, but now they've discovered it might help you lose weight or something like that. And so the pill has a different effect. But then sometimes when you're watching those TV shows, when they start reading the list of side effects, you're actually like, oh my goodness, some of the side effects sound worse than the thing it's trying to cure. And I think that's what we're talking about when we talk about holistic health, right? And natural, because we're trying to move past that and get at root cause, right?
Right, exactly. Actually, that's one of the topics of an article that I have coming out, actually the November issue of Spotlight magazine, and it's actually called pharmaceuticals versus natural health,
right?
And then you have choices, and I do have a paragraph in there mentioning just what you said, that when it comes to pharmaceuticals. They have a lot of money. They spend a lot of money on marketing, and you see these dramatic TV commercials that, yes, I'm not putting down pharmaceuticals. Right. Don't get me wrong. There's a place for them, but when I get to the side effects of it, you wonder. Is this thing going to cure me or make me worse? Yeah. That's the only downside of it, but they have to say that on the commercials. So, but all I'm trying to say is just there are that's why we have a field called alternative medicine.
And I was thinking about that too, because what really comes down to is when you think about if you go to the doctor and the doctor says, well, your blood pressure is a little bit high, or you're kind of borderline maybe on the diabetes thing, and usually the doctor will turn to you and say, I could write this prescription, but maybe you want to try like Mediterranean diet. Maybe you want to try a few things if you could lose a little weight, different things that they might suggest. And it sounds like even medical doctors are encouraging you to try. I call it the simple stuff first, right? Before
Yeah.
you have to go to prescription. I want to talk a little bit about the Faith College of Natural Health. When you put this together, and again, you started, we were talking about this before the broadcast, you had started teaching these classes like literally 15 years ago in person, live and in person. And actually, we're going to be bringing some of these classes here
Right.
to Joe's Senior Resource Center, which is where our Helping Seniors offices are located, because we're all about getting information in the hands. And like we started the program saying, getting your health right is probably the first thing and the most important thing that you could probably do. But when you got that started, what was your goal to how to help people like really get the most out of their health?
Well, I mean, just going back 15 years ago, I actually started a university called Christian Faith University, and that's what it was, a very Bible-based, spiritual, education college. But then in 2013, which is about 11 years ago, I had come up with the idea of Holistic Health Center, which you had mentioned. And so in 2013 is when I started that. And, I operated that really up until, a couple of years ago. I just scaled back on it. I mean, it's still open, but I just don't do, because of time, I just don't have time to do nutritional consulting like I did.
Well, I was smiling as you were talking about that because I was thinking when you get to a point, one of the reasons we do the TV shows in the Helping Seniors world is because if we have a group of people come in, and we love it when we do, we have these great events here at the Joe Senior Resource Center, and there'll be a good room full of people. But we try to record those for television as well, because when people can come back later on YouTube or on a podcast, or they find us on Facebook, or they find us at helpingseniorsofbrevard.org, then not only are they able to go back and review and maybe take better notes, but a lot of times we find, and we'll hear this, that, oh, wow, you missed a really great talk on whatever it was, and I thought this would be good for you to hear too, so they'll send them the link. And not only that, we live in a county, particularly in Brevard County, we're so long and thin, it's like 71 miles north to south, that it isn't practical for everybody to get to Melbourne. So somebody in Titusville, for example, is not necessarily going to drive to Melbourne, but they will benefit from the teaching. And I think that's what you're trying to do with Faith College of Natural Health, because now it's available online. And you have a very unique model for making it very affordable and very effective for people to access. But who should be interested in becoming a student at the college?
Well, anybody and everybody out there who wants to better their own health, or maybe they're a caregiver of somebody who's maybe disabled or elderly, or just a general desire to help people, okay, and but really primarily to, I started it because, I was operating holistic health, and I'm saying, well, I had Christian Faith University, and that was still just going, just on a part-time basis. I just said, well, my specialty is holistic health, or natural health, and it doesn't seem to be a local college for that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I said, well, let me start looking into courses that I had personally taken when I was pursuing my PhD and master's and all that. And so I just started, rummaging through my, my library, and I'm saying, my personal library, and I'm saying, I said, I'm just going to start putting some things together. And then, officially, I really started working on it during the time of COVID.
Yeah,
You know,
sure.
because I had.
Well, that was
you
a
know,
time that we all learned about the advantage of online learning. I mean, it's always fun to be in a class because you can raise your hand and you can ask the teacher that question you were wondering about. But literally through COVID, we learned that you can be effective at learning as long as you're willing to apply yourself. I wanted to ask a question about the courses. This is kind of like, and the other thing I love about online learning is, I don't know about you, if you ever got left behind in a class, and what I mean by that is the teacher, proceeded through a topic, you didn't quite get it all, and then they move on to the next topic. But the problem was you had to have that first topic to really get through the second topic, and then you feel like you're getting farther and farther behind. But what I like about online learning is you're moving at your pace, and if something wasn't clear on maybe that first topic, you can go back and review that again, make sure it's settled in your mind, and then you're able to move on to the next topic.
Correct. Yeah, at Faith College of Natural Health is is strictly self-paced. Even though our courses are structured on a maybe a 10 or 12 week time frame, but that's not set in stone. If you want to take longer, that's fine. But there's also someone who has a lot of time in their hands. I've seen them completed in as little as 6 weeks.
Right.
So they're all based upon on paperback books. So the only additional cost is just purchasing a paperback book for $25 or less, and that's what the course is based upon.
Yeah.
Is a book, and halfway through it. You take a midterm exam, and at the end of it, you take a final exam, and that's really it. I mean, there is some writing involved along the way, because we want to get people prepared, for larger degrees, So even when we start on the lower certifications, that they may just write, maybe 100 words, over a 3-4 week period. I mean, it's not too much for anybody. But it's to get, then as the degrees go up, they write a little bit more. It's really to prepare them when they get up into postgraduate degrees where they have to, do a lot of writing.
Yeah. So with that, what is the website if people are watching this and they want to actually go explore and see how all this works? What's the website?
Yeah, the website is we own Faith College of Natural Health.com, so you can try that. And in most cases, it's just going to move over to F as in Frank, C as in Charlie, N as in Nancy, H as in Harry, then E as in Edward, D as in David, U as in Uncle.com.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fcnhedu.com.
Okay. Well, and I was going to say one of the things, because I did get a chance to peruse the website just a little bit, and I was impressed that you have everything from like certificate programs to full degree programs. There's a lot of different, so you could be like very casual and just say, let me get started and see how this feels. It's not like you're signing up for the rest of your life. You could just pick a course or pick a real simple certificate program and just immerse yourself in that.
And we have a lot of variety, all right? We have... courses on herbs. We have courses on basic anatomy. Nothing real scientific or anything, but just you really have to know basic anatomy when you're studying health. And we have ones on aromatherapy. We have ones on EMF, hazards. These are things that are emitted by radiation and microwaves and things like that. So, there's even a course on that, and
wow.
just a lot of a variety. Even on the some of the upper degrees, we have a couple of courses on the the theories behind the COVID-19 vaccines and things like that. So,
wow,
so we even address, some of the, the more, current controversial topics.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive when you think about it. And I think one of the things that's interesting is that when people hear the term college, we're thinking this is very expensive. It's student loans. It's all kinds of things like that. But the way that you've put this whole college together, you've kind of flipped the script on this because you've made it very accessible, very affordable for people. And I like the thing that you did with the pricing, and we'll see how this moves out. But I like that you set it up. It's a simple a monthly amount, and then you're able to move through that monthly amount. And if you can create courses and move through them effectively quicker, then sort of by definition you're going to save some money. But
Right,
still,
exactly.
you're going to be able to move at a pace that is comfortable to you. And in all cases, the monthly amount is so affordable. It would be like the equivalent of maybe almost picking up a couple of prescriptions or going down and getting a couple of supplements,
Right. Well, presently we have it at $97 a month, and that's inclusive of full time and then some. I say then some because you really have unlimited access to the program that you're in, and the programs consist of 20 courses.
Wow.
So
Wow.
if you're pursuing an AA degree, there's 20 courses there. Pursuing a BA, from an AA, then another 20, and then master's, another 20, and then so on and so on. So, so we are calling it like $97 for unlimited access because we don't care what order you do those 20 courses in. You can do them as randomly as you would like, So it's $97 a month, and like I said, it's more than full-time, college curriculum.
And that's makes it extremely affordable. We talk about people coming out of college and being stuck with just enormous amounts of debt and things like that. This is something that you probably invest that kind of money into a hobby, at some point in time. You say, well, I love doing this, so I'm going to put this in. What if you put that $97 a month into your health? What would be the return on that investment over time as you learn how to manage everything in the natural health realm? First of all, it's going to have a personal benefit for you because you're just going to understand what's going on better.
Right. Well, when you go see a doctor, when you you have an insurance plan and you have a copay, I mean, your copay is at least maybe $40 for a specialist, if not more. And a lot of people are seeing multiple specialists.
Well, and that's what I was going to add. Not only are you improving you, meaning this is knowledge that you're going to carry with you every time you walk into a doctor's office, every time you walk into a drugstore, every time you walk into a grocery store. You're going to be so much equipped to have a positive impact on your own health. But then it's also going to be important for the people that are around you, right? Maybe it's your spouse, your loved one, maybe it's your kids, maybe, you're going to just be so much better
the whole
prepared.
family.
Yeah, for the whole family. So it seems like it's an incredible investment.
Exactly, and like I said, it's for, one of our mottos is, for anybody and everybody who wants to go back to college.
Yeah, I like how you've made it affordable. Well, so I want to make sure that people know how to access this again. So let's share again the website information. We're going to try to put this on the screen, of course, as well, because I think it's worth taking the time. It's free to peruse and very easy to access and see if this is something that you'd be interested in. What's those websites again?
Yes, it's fcnhedu.com. But if you just want to put in faithcollegeofnaturalhealth.com, it will come up also, or just move over to that, the single letters that I just mentioned.
Yeah, I think it's got a pretty good bio of you and one of the other instructors there, where you really have quite a history and quite a lot of experience in this area.
Yes, I have a large background in natural health, as well as my other professor that's on board with us. His name is Professor Michael Edwards. Mm-hmm. He has a doctorate. And many, many, many certifications. He has more certifications than I do, and because he's just been studying the natural health all of his life, And he's actually a volunteer here also.
Yeah,
He helps
absolutely.
out,
We're grateful for Michael.
yeah. He's a great guy, and he loves teaching. Not only he actually prefers to teach in person. So we are discussing on putting some podcasts together, for future use with the college. And also, I wanted to make a comment about the transferability of credits from other colleges. Okay,
Right.
so we honor to transfer credits virtually from all colleges.
Wow. So that can move you far down the road towards your degree.
Yes. And also, anybody who's a veteran, number one, they're, they get, to transfer credits right away, or life experience credits. I was looking for the words. So yes, life experience credits are granted right away for veterans, EMTs, anybody in the medical field, policemen, firemen, nurses.
Yeah. So lots of
doctors.
reasons. Yeah, lots of reasons for people to really check this out. Dr. Kevin Kilday with Faith College of Natural Health. I want to thank you for being a guest with us today on Helping Seniors Television, and I really want to encourage you, viewer, to check this out, faithcollegeofnaturalhealth.com. It could have a huge impact on your wellness and the next decades of your life. So on behalf of Joe Steckler and Jennifer Barton, our president, I just want to thank you guys for tuning in to Helping Seniors Television. We'll see you again soon.
I'm Joe Steckler. Thank you for joining our program today. I'd like to remind you that our senior information line is available to you at 321-473-7770. There you can get help and direction that could be helpful for your specific situation or circumstances. The work of helping seniors is very important, but we can't do it alone. That is why our sponsors here in Brevard County are so important. I'd like to thank our many area sponsors, businesses, and medical providers who support the mission of helping seniors that help us carry the cost of our media efforts. If you'd like to join us either as a business partner or simply donate as an individual, we welcome your call at 321-473-7770. You are always welcome to visit our website at www.helpingseniors.brevard.org. Thanks so much for your help. It does make a difference.